your butt hurt, stand up, stretch down, let's get straight to it.
First of all, we want to thank everybody for coming out today. It's the first time we're doing a live podcast, so we did not expect these kind of numbers, but we definitely appreciate y'all showing up to support. We're going to get right into it. Like I said, thank y'all. It's the CurbTalks Podcast. We're here, and the main goal of this thing is we just want to highlight how to find your passion, how to find your purpose type of thing. It's an idea Mac had, and you want to explain how you got to this point?
Yeah, I feel like last year I went through this whole situation and stuff, and I come into this year, I really wanted to be intentional. I really wanted to find out what I came to Earth to do, you know what I'm saying? What did God bring me here to do? So I was like, let me find my passion, let me find my purpose. And in the meantime, we had rebranded the podcast, started in a different area, and everybody that came on the podcast was talking about purpose, passion, like what they love to do.
It kept coming up.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, what do I love to do? It's not engineering. Like, it's cool, but it ain't engineering. Like, I don't love it. So it was like, it kind of brought me to this path of really trying to figure out what am I here to do. So, you know, I had to thank all the people that came on the podcast and talk about with them because, you know, hearing their stories motivated me and helped me figure out what was helping me trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
Exactly, yeah. So I think Mac brought the idea, and I'm a part of the Student Success Leadership Council, SSLC, and it's the main org we partner with. We also partner with a bunch of different orgs. We partner with BSU, Black Student Union. We partner with Black BS, Black Engineering Society, Black PE Law Association, ASA. So and some of those orgs are here. They're gonna have some representatives who are gonna speak as well. So we definitely appreciate all the orgs we partner with, and we appreciate y'all coming on. We just gonna get right into it. So Mac, I got a question for you. Why are we doing this? Like, why have we chosen to focus on finding your passion? Like,
because I feel like you can't be truly successful in life unless you're successful and happy. A lot of people are successful. They got the money, they got the car, they got the clothes, whatever you deem success, but they're not happy. They're broken on the inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why obtain the whole world if you're losing your soul or if you're losing what makes you happy? Like, that's not real success to me. Success is being happy with it. And how do you be happy if you're being successful? If you're doing what you love. If you're doing your passion, if you're doing your purpose, you know what I'm saying? That's the way to be really happy, bro.
Yeah, I think, and we want to get the crowd involved too, so y'all don't have to be shy. We want to get everybody involved and get y'all opinions too. So I think one of the main things you got to kind of have to figure out is what is people's definition of success, you know what I mean? Because success is somebody could be, I got a million, so I'm successful now, you know what I'm saying? Or success is somebody else could be, I got a stable family, I'm married, and I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm happy. So I guess, matter of fact, what success to you? What do you think is, if you said, all right, bet, tomorrow I'm successful, what have you accomplished, basically?
Let's think. I'm happy, right? I'm happy, I got money, I'm in a real good spot with God, woman, but nah, I mean, I think those three things were real.
Right. Yeah,
How about you?
I'll probably say the same thing. I think as long as I'm happy, definitely. I think happy, I gotta be making money. I feel like I want to be able to provide for my family, be stable in that sense. But like you said, have that solid foundation with God, and also, I definitely hope to be, have a happy wife. You know what I'm saying?
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. So that's the goal. But I guess the question, we have to answer is, do you think you found your passion? Like right now, have you found your passion?
Nah, I don't think I found my passion yet. I think.
Before we even get into that, can anybody here raise their hand if they think they found their passion? Like if you think you found it, raise your hand. Okay.
What's your passion?
I'm a hairstylist.
Hairstylist.
Okay.
What's your passion? What's somebody else had a hand up? What's your passion?
Dancing.
What's your passion?
Just like
Creative stuff. What's your passion? Art. Anybody else?
All right, who doesn't think they found their passion, but they know they have an idea of what their passion could be, that type of thing? Like, you kind of in the middle. What about you? Whatever.
Like, I do software engineering, but I don't know if I'm like all the way in.
Right.
Coding, but,
Right. Anybody else?
Yeah, like building other people up.
Right. That's amazing.
I think my thought process was, if I can help people find their passion and their purpose, maybe I'll find mine in the process.
All right. Yeah, I think, like, I can speak for myself. I definitely don't know what my passion is. I, too, I'm a computer engineering major. We've been through a lot of pain, but I know that's what I want to do in life. I know that I want to do software engineering. Like, I know that's Because honestly, I feel like I don't know what else I would do type of thing. Like, math is cool, but I can't crunch numbers the rest of my life, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this, I know exactly what I want to do, but I can't say I'm 100% passionate in it too. So I guess it's kind of a question of how long do I keep working in this field until I feel like, you know, I'm happy. So I guess I wouldn't really know until I get inside the field, but it's definitely a question that it's really not an easy question to answer, honestly.
What made you want to get into computer engineering though?
I think since I was a kid, well, when I was a kid, I had probably had like 10 different career paths. I told my mom I was going to be a pilot. I said an architect one day.
I couldn't see you being a pilot.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I'll get on the plane.
No, what?
I wouldn't get on the plane.
I couldn't even get on the plane now. Like, I hate when my ears get all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I told my mom a pilot. I told my mom an architect. What else? Eventually, for a while, when I was in like 5th grade, I said like inventor. It took me a while to realize that's not like an actual career path.
Yeah.
So, but I knew I liked computers. I knew I liked technology. I knew I liked playing computer games. So I knew I had an interest in like technology and like computer stuff. And like when I was in middle school, I did Lego robotics and I did like programming, that kind of stuff and things like that. So I knew that's what my interest was. And I eventually figured out, all right, but computer engineering is what I want to do. Computer engineering specifically. Am I glad I chose computer engineering as my major? That's a question to be determined, but it's definitely brought me to where I'm at today, so I can't complain. What about you?
I think.
Well, first, I guess what are you doing right now, and what do you think you're passionate in it, and what do you think is like the future for you in that?
Electrical engineering. Am I passionate about it? Nah. Do I tolerate it? Yes.
Yes.
Do I like doing what I do? No. If it wasn't for my friends in engineering that keep me, sane, I wouldn't really keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. But what made me do it? My father was an electrical engineer. So, I just was like, oh, well, my dad did it. I guess I could do it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of went that way. And what do I think it is? I honestly have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Because I'm one of those people that I can do a lot of things, but I just do it just to do it.
Right.
I don't really love it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like all my life, that's why I always put like bare minimum effort into things. I mean, honestly, to me, it's not bare minimum, it's efficiency. If you're working smarter and you're putting less energy out, then you're getting the same results.
Right.
But I feel like, to think about it, I was putting the bare minimum into things because I didn't love what I was doing.
Right.
I feel like you can only put your full potential to something when you absolutely love it and happy and you wake up every day thinking about that thing.
Right. I guess another question is like, and I guess I want to pose that for you guys, like we all have things we want to do, like we like doing, but trying to find a career path in that is not always the best thing to do, you know what I mean? So I guess the question is how, if you do have a passion, or for example, like if there's something you like to do, but it might not be a career path, anything like that, what type of steps do you try to take? Like how long do you pursue in that? For example, let me ask them, who knows what they like to do? Like right now, what do you like to do, basically? Anybody? What would you say?
What I like to do?
Yeah, like what do you like for hobby?
Okay, so at first my major was engineering. So it didn't take me until a few semesters for me to realize I'm going to go into the business program.
Right.
So right now I'm trying to switch my major to business management. And yeah, so it took me 1 year to let you know if that makes sense.
Right. Because I think a lot of people have an issue where they think they found their passion. For example, let's say I want to be a rapper. That's my passion. Music is my passion, right? My men supported me because they're my men. They're not supporting me because I'm great. They're supporting me because I'm a man, right? How long do I keep, people say keep finding, find your dreams, you know what I'm saying? Keep going for your dreams and don't give up. But does it ever come to a point where you have to stop chasing your passion and you have to be more realistic, or what would you say?
No, I feel like it's there's a joy in the journey to find your passion. Like you shouldn't think of finding your passion as a burden. Like it shouldn't be a burden to you. It should be more like, okay, every day I'm gonna work to get closer to what I think I love or what I know I love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So keep chasing it. Like don't ever stop, because once you stop, you lost for real. Like, and why would you want to lose if you could find something that's gonna make you happy in the end?
Yeah.
Even if it takes a lifetime, once you have it, it's like, okay, it was all worth it. Because as important as to find your passion, it's important to figure out what you're not passionate about. Because how would you know you don't like something until you do it? So be open-minded to everything for real.
I think that's another thing. I feel like people don't really understand how important it is to not know what you don't like to do, because I think, especially for myself, the reason why I say I don't know if I really want to do computer engineering as a major is because when I first started doing that, I was like, all right, I want to do hands-on and I want to do programming, that type of thing, right? It wasn't until I took a couple of electrical engineering classes where I realized I hate electrical engineering. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for me. circuits. I don't understand it. I don't understand what the resistance is. I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? But I think it took me a while to realize that. And I think also while I was able to do that, I think I was able to learn certain skills in electrical engineering where if I went through a different path, I wouldn't be where I am at today. I think people don't really realize that because, like I said, I often tell myself, like, damn, I should just choose concept from the jump. But if I didn't choose concept from the jump, would I have gotten the experience I had? Would I have gotten the different internship experience I've gotten? You know what I mean? So I think I really just have to learn how to be grateful for what, you know, the journey I've been on and just keep grinding and keep seeing how I can keep progressing in that forward. You know what I mean?
And I feel like the things that you learn in those areas that you're not passionate about help you when God decides to let you know when you are, like, what is your passion. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably know some electrical engineering stuff that you wouldn't know if you just did comp sci.
Yeah, you know, I know the game, how to do the game occasionally, but other than that,
I mean, it ain't much to it.
Right.
I mean, I know as much as you do. It's all the same.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think when it comes to finding your passion, I think we put a lot of stress on ourselves and putting a lot of like, oh, this is my passion and I'm not there yet, so I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm not living my life right. But I think we all got to realize it's a journey. You know what I mean? I think when it comes to, like I said, even with me with computer engineering, I think that even though I know, all right, I want to do more so console, software engineering, that type of thing, how do I try to keep progressing in my field and keep trying to figure out exactly what else I can learn? You know what I mean? So I guess the question for you guys is there anybody here who, when they came to college, they thought they liked something and then they realized quickly they did not like it? Anybody? Are you?
Oh, you mentioned how you know engineering and then
Right. That's cool. Anybody else? Got you. Anybody have anything where when they came to college, they thought they hated it, and when they came here, they realized, no, I actually like this is something I enjoy doing.
Oh yeah, me with computer science, I definitely hated it at first.
Right.
And, I don't know. I guess you get specs so many times.
Right. Anybody else have any examples? No. But I can, like, even with the computer science thing, I think, would you say, I'm asking specifically, would you say it's like the struggle of trying to find the solutions for doing a concept project, is that what made you enjoy it more? What do you think is, and the failures that you had, what makes you think it made you enjoy it more?
I think it was the gratification I got from, like, going from not understanding how to do it at all to then, like, slowly figuring it out and then coming with a solution and it, like, checks out all the requirements.
Right.
I like the gratification I got from this.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely co-sign that myself. There's been plenty of times where I'm going through a concept, because the thing with computer science projects, like, you would think it's simple and then it takes you 3 days to figure one issue, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you do finally get that thing, when you finally pass all those test cases, like, the satisfaction you get from that is definitely unmatched. I can definitely understand that we're coming from that.
Yeah, I mean, with the little, small code that I did.
Right.
I could definitely attest to that, but I feel like I'm in a position where I don't like what I'm doing, but I'm too scared to figure out what is it that I would do, because I'm a senior. Like, I don't have time to switch a whole major. What? You're crazy. You think I'm about to switch
another 2 years?
Nah, it's not happening.
It's crazy.
So it's like, if you're in that position, what do you do then? When it's all said and done, your 4 years are over, you figure out you don't like your major, what do you do then?
I think, like we said, like, life is such a journey that I guess you just gotta, take what you have in front of you. Like, if you got yourself your degree, so even though you don't like doing it, this might be something you think you like doing. So you start, try to ingratiate yourself and things like that. So, for example, let's say I'm graduating computer engineering, right? But I realized, no, I actually want to do some business, things like that. So I think what we have is the power of the internet. So it's like a lot of different resources and things like that you can go online, pay $15 for a class on Udemy, things like that. So it's different things we can do. So I feel like you may be forced to like work a job you don't like to for a while, but I think what you have to do is try to be diligent and take initiative to make sure that you can take the steps and not be there forever. You know what I mean? Like, you may start off working here, start off working at Target, but you can be building your clothing brand. You can be building your podcast. Different things you want to do, whatever it is you want to make money out of. I feel like you have to take what you have in front of you and just try to, find a solution to that, because you can't just sit there and mope. You know what I mean? I think 2021 taught me that like life does not feel sorry for you, and like feeling sorry for yourself, like it's necessary. Like don't like not feel anything, but I think it's always important to just realize that life just keeps going. Like, even though you're gonna have a bunch of different failures, but you just gotta keep pushing, because if you just stay there and wallow in self-pity, like it's not helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely something that I have to learn. So I don't know, how would you try to tackle something like that?
I feel like this whole conversation goes back to like our episode with Kwaniyah, and she was talking about being able to pivot, like in all times of life, like just pivot all the time, like you know what I'm saying? Because life, you gotta be adaptable. You gotta learn how to change, like you know. So coming out, if I come out engineering and I figure out like, well, I know I don't like it, but you know, I get in the workforce and like I really don't like this, like I'll just have to pivot. Figure out something I do like. If I don't like that, just keep pivoting until you find the sweet spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as long as I do that, I feel like I should be able to figure out what I do love, and you know, and manage all of life's tribulations and stuff with it.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess it's a different direction I want to try to go. I have a question for the crowd. What is the definition of happiness? We can just take different perspectives and things like that, because I feel like people's definition of happiness kind of directs how they go through life and things like that. So I guess anybody can raise their hand and give me what would they say is like their definition of happiness? It don't gotta be it don't gotta be eloquent. It just gotta make sense.
My definition of happiness is being at peace.
Okay, being at peace. Very simple. It makes sense.
Anybody else? You want to?
Happiness for me is being comfortable.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
Comfortable. Anybody else? Oh.
I think happiness for me is being okay on the inside, like being at peace, being comfortable, just being well in the head. Like I can wake up and realize, like smile, like even like something crazy going on, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like that's happiness for me.
I say happiness for me is just being able to find joy in like whatever situation you're in. Because I think people equate happiness, because nobody's happy 24/7. Like nobody's happy 24/7. I think people try to equate, because I'm going through this, I can't be happy in this situation. So I think a person who's truly happy, whether they have no money, whether they're in debt, whether they're going through a bunch of different things, I feel like that person, as long as they're able to still find joy in whatever situation there is, or still find a brighter path, I feel like that's my definition of happiness. And the reason why I ask it, I feel like depending on your definition of happiness, your path to how you're gonna go for your passion is gonna be different, because like we don't got all the answers. I don't have the answer. I can't tell you, sit here where I tell you like this is how you find your passion. Because we're all college students, we all have different perspectives, and that's why we want everybody to come have this conversation. So I think, for example, you said happiness is being comfortable. Somebody might say, in order for me to be happy, in order for me to be comfortable, I have to make a lot of money. So if I want to make a lot of money, they're gonna, even though they might not be happy in a particular field, they're gonna keep grinding and keep working that field just because it's making them money. Or if somebody who says they has peace, they're gonna say, no, I'm not gonna work a job that I'm not enjoying because I don't have peace in that. So I'm gonna choose to do something I enjoy doing, even if I'm not making a lot of money. This is my definition of happiness, so that's how I'm gonna go into it. So I think, I don't know, I feel like, what do you think about the perspective? The importance of happiness and success and how it's all related, basically.
It's actually pretty funny that you brought that up, because just earlier today I was listening to this song. At the end of the song, it was like, "Can money buy happiness?" And it was like, nah, you can't go into the store and just buy a bar of happiness. It don't work like that. And there's so many more factors towards it, and I don't think money could be the only factor, because you could have so much money and sleepless nights. You're not good. Money and happiness just don't correlate to that too. You need money. I would say you need money to, potentially find things that do make you happy.
Right.
But money and happiness is not one and the same. But in terms of, I feel like in order to really acquire the money in a way to keep yourself happy is by going again, finding your passion, finding your purpose in life. But would you say that passion and purpose are the same?
I would say no. I think if I'm gonna say, I feel like passion is more so something that you're happy with. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to purpose, that really just turns into a whole different thing, because I feel like people's purpose in life is different from what they may be passionate about. Your purpose could be for you to minister to someone, or you have to help this person, or you have to help people. That's basically what you want to do. So you might not be happy about it, or you might not be the best in your life, but that's your purpose in life. Different circumstances and scenarios in life have put you in a position where that's your purpose in life. And I don't think people really find out their purpose in life until they're actually doing it. You know what I mean? I feel like once you're doing it, you feel like, oh no, this is something that I'm supposed to be doing right now. I feel like once you can really feel that, that's when you're serving your purpose. But like you said, passion, I feel like that's more something that when you're doing it, you're happy, you're feeling great, it's just making you feel good. I think there's while they're related, I feel like there's a certain difference between both of them. What would you say?
Before I answer, how about the crowd? Like, what do y'all think? Passion and purpose, are they the same thing?
And if they're not the same thing, which one do you think is more important?
I mean, I feel like they're pretty disconnected from each other, right? Because like your purpose can vary by the minute, by the moment. At some points, you're gonna feel like, hey, this is my purpose in the moment. Like it helping something to progress in an organization or other people forward. But then when you get to your passion, it's more about like, are you feeling like you're becoming the person that you're meant to be? And that's something that someone else's purpose that they're given to you can never satisfy.
Which one do you think is more important?
Which one? I say probably your passion. You know, I think like people don't realize how much not finding your passion has on your mental health, and it kind of deals with the crisis that we have as people and as a country today. So.
Right. That's amazing. Anyway, that's gonna answer.
Anybody else?
I don't know. I would say they are pretty hand in hand because it's simply like, how could you have a purpose that you're not passionate in a sense? Like, you have to, if you're doing something, you gotta go hard behind it. If that's your purpose, you gotta go hard behind it. And only gonna go hard behind it is if that's your passion. So.
I can see that. What you think?
I feel like a purpose is something that you don't have full control over, but you're passionate to do. Like, if you're like been trained to be an MT and you like are off duty, but you see a crisis that you know you can handle because you've been trained, like that one, that's your purpose.
Right.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. But you don't have full control over that instinct. But your passion is something that you can like fully talk to yourself and get your inner thoughts like all calculated and stuff and tell yourself this is what I'm gonna do. These are the steps I'm gonna take to get to this step.
Right.
And you have full control over every step along the way.
Okay. I like your answer, but I would say I don't think passion you have full control over though. Because I feel like in terms of being able to like love something, you don't know you love it. Like, you can't control being like loving it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could love engineering, I would. But I just can't. Like, it's just not happening. So it's like I feel like that's uncontrollable. But I like your answer though.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think it's three different perspectives. Like, I think that's part of the reason why we want to do this, because, like you said, those are three completely different answers. Like, I feel like they all give a different perspective. I think that it's kind of like life is gonna, like you said, certain things you can't control in life. Like certain things, God, whatever you may believe in, is just gonna put you in certain positions where that's just a reality. And I think people try to live other people's realities. Like, they try to live other people's realities, live other people's lives, but that's not the life you're gonna live, you know what I'm saying, no matter what it is. And I think that's something that I myself have had to like learn over time, like, oh yeah, that's not gonna be, or this is not even though that might be the person you want to be, that's not who you are gonna be, and just it's okay with that, you know, everybody's different, that type of thing. So I think the great thing about this is like it's so many different perspectives and so many different ways to find your passion. Like there's no list where it's like, all right, check this out, all right, bet now you find your passion type of thing. So I think as long as everybody knows what they're doing, their own personal journey, I think that's just like the main goal, and making sure that you're okay in yourself and making sure that you're cool with what you're doing. Then I feel like that's, you know, the kind of steps you should be trying to take, honestly.
I like the fact that you brought up like living somebody else's reality, because that comes with the identity crisis. And honestly, that's a whole other podcast on its own. Like,
sure.
We don't gotta get into that today. But yeah, that's definitely because a lot of people don't know who they are, and when you don't know who you are, you don't know what you stand for. You don't know what you stand for, you don't know what you love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't know what you stand for, also like, you're just gonna go for anything. So
right.
It's like if you know who you are, then you can find out what you love. Once you find out what you love, then you find your passion.
Right.
So everything's like really connected in life. Like in general, like everything like that, like all this little stuff, identity crisis, not finding your passion, and like not figuring out what you love, it's all one and the same.
Right. I mean, I think, like you said, when it comes to like what you believe and what you stand, I think a lot of what has like a big influence of that is our parents, you know, and that brings us like a whole new different topic we kind of want to introduce to you guys. Like, what do you think about? Well, who here has their parents has told them, no, this is what you have, 3 options, you're gonna be this, this, or this, or whose parents has ever told them this is what we want you to be, essentially? Anybody? You just raise your hand. You don't have to give an example.
Yeah, you gotta say nothing.
Because I can speak for myself. I had 3 options.
I had 3 options. So.
Lawyer, doctor, engineer. Like, if it's not something they can brag about, it's not something they don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's kind of a question I want to try to broach now. Like, if your parents are telling you they want you to do something, how do you have that conversation with your parents? If you know that's not what you want to do, how do you have that conversation with your parents and still, while being respectful with them, how do you try to pursue your goals while still trying to be respectful?
Before I answer that, I want to talk briefly about like why it's important to be able to find your passion on your own. So a couple months ago, I was at work, and we just hired this one of the students became a full-time worker. So he's working with us like full-time now. Like he's not still working no more. And when I was at work, we was like in a deficit of computers. So we weren't selling enough computers and stuff. Like, it was in the red basically. So then he comes full-time. He ends up posting like this clearance joint. This clearance like sale on Reddit goes crazy. People start swarming. People start swarming. You know, the store. And I'm like, damn, that's a good idea. Why ain't think of that? You know what I'm saying? So then, like, even like our boss's boss, that came down to like really congratulate him, like, good job.
Right.
So then I'm in the back with him, and I'm like,
that could have been me.
I'm like, why did you? I was like, have you found your passion? Like, what do you think your passion is? He was like, my passion is computers. I'm like, damn, like you're passionate about this, and this is why. You know what I'm saying? Like you realize you came to the store and changed it within weeks. Yeah. So I feel like unless you really know and you find that gap of what I love to do, you won't really be successful. And you know, it ties back to your parents. Like in order to like break away, I don't know. I can't even really answer that for real because I'm to be honest with you, I'm still stuck in that myself. Yeah. So it's like what I would assume you would do, what I think you would do would probably be like, I don't know, like just really got to stand up for yourself in your household and really like stand up to your parents. Or if that's not even an option, like I feel like at the end of the day, what God has for you will be for you. So even if you are stuck in a major that's not for you, at the end of the day, I feel like you will figure it out. And you know, it justifies the means. So I feel like you figure it out.
I think people, I think parents, I feel like they always, of course they want the best for us, but I think sometimes whatever may have happened in their lives or whatever they want for us can kind of like cloud their judgment or make them think, oh, that's not something you should be doing. I think the only thing you really do is just try to have this conversation with your parents, you know, really just let them know that, you know, you're growing, this is going to be your career, it's going to be the path that you're choosing. They're not going to be working, they're not going to be in that cubicle with you, they're not going to be in there doing that job that you hate. So I think trying to just be ready to have this conversation. Like I said, it's always not that easy because parents do have that kind of authority. Mm-hmm. But I think you just have to do your best to try to pursue your dreams and also just be respectful. Like, for example, I guess try to compromise in a way. For example, like your mom says, oh, you say you want to be an artist, but your mom says, no, you need to be making money. So you get a job, do what you have to do, and then you are on the side, you can, you know, so try to find that kind of compromise because parents are not all, like, they can be annoying, but they're not unreasonable, you know what I mean? And they do want the best for us at the end of the day, so. And I feel like results, once they see results, it changes everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like we gotta talk about how them forcing us into certain majors is like, it's a survival tactic, which is backed by fear. The fear of you not being successful, the fear of you not making money, the fear of you not being able to support yourself and living in their basement till you're 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all backed by fear. It's all survival tactics. And you can't even blame them because a lot of people's parents come to this country with nothing, so they had to survive. And they had to use survival tactics. So they come here and then they make their kids who don't have to survive, who can live life, do the same things they did, which is not it's not the cycle. You gotta break the cycle, bro. It's not happening. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. But once you realize that, it gives you a different perspective on your parents and the situation. And once you're able to put yourself in their shoes, you're able to kind of break out the mode.
Most definitely. Yeah, I can agree with that 100%. So yeah, what we want to do now, we want to try to open the floor. So we have, like we said, we partner with different groups and different orgs on campus, and we want to try to have other students, you know, bring their own perspective. Like we said, we're just two people, two engineering majors. We don't, you know, we don't know have all the answers, but we definitely want everybody to, you know, have their own perspective and hear from other people. So we're gonna invite, first of all, Taboo from ASA to come join us up here, and we're gonna talk about, you know, their perspective on finding their practice or their purpose. We'll pass you guys the mic so you guys can introduce yourselves.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kwaniyah. I'm the president of UMD's African Student Association, and I'm a junior and I'm a community health major.
Hello everyone, my name is Amari. I'm a Accounting Information Systems double major. I'm chief of staff on the eBoard for ASA.
All right, cool. So the first question we got for you guys is, how have you found your purpose?
Yeah, I feel like my purpose is to help people. I think that, like, Yeah, like you guys were saying, like it's like a trial and error type thing. Like it takes a while to find your purpose, you know. Like I don't think anybody just wakes up and like knows what they're supposed to do in this life.
Right.
But like, I think that, like kind of going back to what you guys were talking about with parents and things like that. Like when I came to UND, I was a bioengineering major, and that lasted literally not even 2 weeks. Like I want to say like 10 days. Like before the ad drop period, I dropped like Chem 135, like not 440, like
I don't
all
blame
that.
you.
Yeah, because it's like my mom wanted me to do it, and I was just like, this is not me.
Right.
Like I'm gonna fail these classes. So it's like I had to sit there and really ask myself, like, what do I like to do in this life? And I knew it has something to do with health. So I just went with that. And it's like later on, like I really realized like my purpose is to help people. So I'm glad that I changed my major. But yeah, like it was a trial and error type thing.
Have you found your passion?
And are they the same thing?
I feel like my purpose and my passion go hand in hand because it's like I'm a caregiver and it's like I really like what I do. Like I like to help families and things like that. And I think that, like I said, like because my purpose is to help people, it's like they play into one another. Like I don't really have like a separate thing, like wanting to do music, but I work as a nurse. Like it's not like that. It's like everything that I do overlaps.
But is helping people is pretty broad. Like, in what do you help? In what sense?
Yeah, I think that sometimes that's where it gets iffy because it's like I'm pre-law because I want to do health law and policy. But it's like because I work for care.com, it's like there's so many different things I'll do, like help mothers who just had C-sections with like helping like with their kids, like dishes, like random things like that. So I think sometimes I need to narrow down like if I want to help people, do I want to be a nurse? Like do I want to be a nanny or like do I want to go into health law and like actually do like advocacy work and things like that. So yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Gotcha. Amari, how about you? Have you found your purpose and your passion? Are they the same?
So I would say I found my purpose, maybe not my passion yet so far. My purpose in life, I'd say, is just to experience it all, the good, the bad. Like, just want to experience as much of life as possible. I feel like that's what I'm on the earth to do.
Right.
Whether that's like going somewhere new, eating something new, meeting new people. I feel like that's what I'm on this earth to do.
Right.
My passion, I have not found that yet. I'm interested in a lot of things. Like I just picked up swimming. I didn't know how to swim, so I decided to explore that. I love it.
Does it actually work?
What?
I tried swimming lessons. They didn't work.
Nah, it
I
worked for
I
me.
was drowning.
Nah, they made
I had the instructor, bro, like help. I was just
What
drowning.
level you on? Because I made it to level 5, so I know how to tread water and all
It's
that.
through the schools. I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I just started like a couple weeks ago. I'm not nice.
Right.
But yeah, just like picking out random stuff and like exploring different things, which I feel like will eventually help me find my passion, my true passion. A couple of years ago, I thought I found that, but that was only because I really rushed, the process. And I don't think you should rush to find your passion at all. I thought video creating was my passion, where I would wake up. It felt like I was doing things that you would describe as your passion. I'd wake up, it would be the only thing on my mind.
Right.
I was like, I could do this forever. I'm gonna go down, and I'll be happy with that. But
So how'd you figure out what was your passion?
I really asked myself, what am I doing this for, and why? Like, what was the motive behind what I'm doing it for?
Mhm.
And it wasn't based off of the love for it. It's what I could get with it,
Right.
and I could get that elsewhere. Like, I really wanted to get some bread off this.
Yeah.
I was successful. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't in love with it.
Would you say you were happy? So you say you were happy while doing it, right?
I was
Or what'd you say?
happy. At that time, I thought I was happy. Because I thought it would help me reach that goal of like just being financially free. So that kept me going. I was like, I tried to trick myself to be happy.
Right.
Just to keep like that energy's going. Like if you feel really passionate about that or happy towards something, that's what probably the greatest motivator.
So I think I don't know if Mike's working, but what we try to do is like when it comes to we talk about pivoting, right? So you realize, oh, this is not for me. What were the next steps for you? Like, how did you try to move on from that? Because obviously, like that's something you spend a lot of time into. So how did you try to pivot from there?
I said step one, I really just took lessons from that and then apply that to other scenarios. So that's where I started learning, like, let me just try other stuff. Maybe this wasn't my direct passion, but maybe I learned something from that that I could apply to something else. So maybe like during that, I learned that, I really like listening to audio. Maybe I could find a passion in music. Not saying that's my passion, but I'm taking something from that and trying to apply that elsewhere.
Makes a
Do
lot
you
of
have any
sense.
ideas of what you think your passion might be?
Right now,
That's
Gotcha.
okay.
I guess a question I want to ask is, do you guys think it's possible to have multiple passions? Because, like you said,
Yeah,
you're
of
the
course.
president of ASA. So, what is? Would you say that's something like a passion for you, or what really wants you to like get? Because, like I said, I think people don't realize like being part of the student org is cool, but to be a part of the eBoard and do things like that is a lot of commitment. So, what would you say kind of made you want to get into that?
I think like At my high school's ASA, I was not involved at all.
Right.
Like,
You weren't an ASA warrior?
No, I was not an ASA power ranger. I was an ASA warrior. Like, I wasn't any of that. Like, I was extremely like disconnected. So it's like when I came to UMD, I was like, let me get more in touch with the African community. So I did that. Like Sergio, like really, he used to be on the eBoard. Like he encouraged me to join the eBoard. So I became the historian. After I was a historian, then it was a situation where a lot of people were leaving, and they were like, somebody has to be president. So I kind of just had to do it, because if I didn't do it, like, there would have been no ASA. So I did it, and I think it's cool. Like, it's a lot of work. It's extremely stressful. It's a lot. Like, ASA is like a third. I take 4 classes. It's like a 5th class. Like, bro, like, it's a lot. But I think that when you get so deep into something, and you see how it makes other people feel. Like for me, I think that is why I became passionate about it. Like at first I was super annoyed, but it's like I see that we have a lot of members. I see that we do good things. Like people are really interested. So it's like now I feel like I have to continue to do better. Like I have to continue to make ASA the org that it is. So yeah, like it took a while for me to become passionate. But like I said, I feel like when you start doing something and you're like, wow, this really could, I don't want to say it really could be something, but like it could really be something. You're like, all right, like, let me put in the work, because when this all comes to fruition, like, it's going to be something good. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened. But at first, I was not that interested, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing perspective, because, like, especially since we all talk about, oh, it has to be something, you know, you like doing, things like that. But people don't realize, like, a lot of times people find their passion accidentally, you know what I mean? Like, they just kind of thrust into this type of role. So it's kind of like, I don't know, Amari, guys, like, what would you say is your perspective when it comes to, like, trying to, like what you're doing right now? Do you think you fell into it, or do you think it's something that just kind of like you just had an epiphany, it just came to you type of thing?
Like being on the eBoard?
Yeah, being on the eBoard, like the direction you find yourself in life right now. Because obviously you say you haven't found your passion yet, and that takes time. But what do you think
about anything about the eBoard that you do?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that came from when I transferred over. I came from community college, so community life is horrible. And no one's chilling at school afterwards. It's like go to work. Class.
Right.
So when I transferred over, I'm trying to get involved in anything and everything. Right. So I didn't fall into it per se. It was always something that was on my, like I was looking for, just to be involved. And I was able to find the opportunities that led me to being on the eBoard. Right. So I'll say my purpose, like how I say I just want to experience a lot, help me find something that I'm passionate about.
Right. Do you think people have more than one passion?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, like I know Kevin Durant. He's passionate about basketball, of course. But he loves photography. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he said if he wasn't playing basketball, he'd 100% be a photographer. Yeah. And, like, me in the offseason, he just spends all his time, like, taking photos. So that's something he's passionate about. But obviously, basketball is his main passion.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess the question, before we let you guys go, is, like, what is success to you guys? Like, what would you say in, like, 5, 10, or like, 20 years, 30 years in the future? What would you say, all right, but if I did this, I'm going to be successful in life? And what do you think is your passion is what needs to drive you to that, or do you think it's something else that's just going to drive you to that success?
Success? I say your passion could drive you to that if you're being fulfilled. To me, is what success looks like. Okay. That varies for everyone here, I'm sure, for fulfillment. I don't think your passion would directly have to be a part of that, because people lose passion or something. So it's a little tricky one, but I don't think your passion has to be directly
passion.
I think I used to put my own plan in front of God's plan, if that makes sense. So it's just like I used to think that if this is what I want to do and I do it well, I'm successful. But it's like in real life, like in my opinion, like I'm not successful until everything that God has, I've reached what God has planned for me, if that makes sense. Like it's like you get to certain points and you reach like high points and you're like, okay, cool, now what? Like it was like I was always just like, now what, if that makes sense. And it's like once I realized what my purpose is and like what my passions are and like I started putting in work, now I feel like I'm actually on a journey. Like I don't think you really are successful unless you felt like you went on a journey. You know what I mean? Like when you do something, you just get it, it's like, okay.
It's a little too easy.
Yeah, it's a little too easy. It's like, am I really successful or is this just a win?
Right.
You know? So yeah, like for me, it's like success is definitely something that I'll reach once I know my journey is over, and like I feel like my journey is over, and I don't feel like it's over, so I don't feel like I'm successful right now.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys coming up, and you guys give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
And then right, we got one more person coming up. We got a representative from BPLA, Black Pre-Law Association. Arsene, go ahead.
Give him a hand.
Step up.
Go ahead and do yourself.
What's up, y'all? My name is Arsene. I'm a public policy major, class of 23, and I'm the treasurer for BPLA.
All right, cool. So we're gonna start off asking you the same question. Have you found your purpose and your passion, and are they the same?
I feel like I found my passion in just like it being like creating stuff with my hands. Like ever since I was little, I've been like very much like hands-on, playing sports, just like taking weird art classes like pottery and stuff, just like making sure just like I can get my hands on something, just keep it moving. And that just kind of like rotated to just me wanting to figure out how to do things out by myself with my hands, and that could just be like Photoshop skills, Illustrator skills, how to cut, and then just like drawing in general. And I just feel like anything that I can create myself, that's my passion. If I can just learn how to do it on my own, or just like be taught how to do it, and I have like something else in my tool belt that I'd be able to say like, yeah, I can do that if you need me to do that. I feel like that's just like a passion of mine. And purpose, I don't feel like I found my purpose yet. I feel like I'm still very much growing. I'm like very much young. I've lived with like a lot of situations, but I feel like there's so many more situations ahead of me that I can't prepare myself for.
Right.
And so many situations that I don't know if I'm gonna find a purpose in one of these or one of that. So I can't say like I found my purpose. And I definitely like look forward to finding my purpose. And I feel like that journey to find your purpose is like a journey of its own that you should cherish. Like every step that you take, every step you take forward, and every step that comes back and you take backwards, like that's something you should cherish because there's like a lesson learned there too.
Gotcha.
You think passion and purpose are the same?
I feel like it can be, but it also varies from person to person.
Right.
So if you're a person that you can have multiple passions, like the example was given KD, and I feel like everybody is that person. You can have multiple like passions, but everybody shows favoritism.
Right.
Without just like unconsciously, so that goes into what you do as well. So if you choose to do something over another, like that's your favorite passion. But I feel like if you found that purpose and passion at a young age where you're able to grow into it, be like mentored and make like just live that lifestyle, then in that way you can have like a purpose and a passion be the same thing.
Gotcha. So you mentioned your passion being like being creative, things like that. So you have a clothing brand. Tell us about it, and tell us about like why, like how you even started the clothing brand, basically.
Yeah, so I have a brand called Smile. I founded the brand like summer 2019. That was like the summer going into the transition from being high school to being a college student. That was like a very hard transition for me, especially because I didn't know what school I was gonna go to. There was still like a lot of things going on with family situations. If I really wanted to move away from my family, stay close, things like that. Like I came from a very like close-knit family, like a African unit that was blended into like an Americanized unit. So like we had our own thing going, and I was just kind of afraid of like going past that. And so we're just going through a whole rough time with my mental, and I just like started writing down Smile on like small sticky notes, and just putting them on like my laptop, my PlayStation, just like places I was always going to be constantly passing, just to remind myself like to smile. Because at the end of the day, like yeah, I'm going through something right now. I'm trying to like figure out what transition I'm going through, but there's still something to smile about in my situation, and that is like I succeeded to be the first person in my family to high school, like to graduate from high school, and then like just like move on to that next step. So that smile just came from something for me to actually just become a better towards. And then like I said, I like creating a lot, so I just turned that into like something bigger.
Right.
I started like painting it, like it's on the back of my jacket right now. Like I started painting it on stuff.
Go ahead, show.
Yeah, I can see it.
Plug it in.
Okay. Smile. That's all right.
So I just started doing something like that, and then just turned to just me making one-on-ones for myself with like jeans that said Smile and stuff. And then all my friends have been like OC supportive with it. Like they seen the vision, they supported me from day one. They helped me expand on the vision, and I was like, I can turn it to something big. So I just started doing small releases, hoodies, beanies, and then went from that. And I have a new drop coming out of trucker hats. I'm trying to release those before like May. You feel me? Got things going out. Yuri, Odi, got one.
Yeah, I got mine coming up soon. I would have had it on, but it's coming soon.
So like, I just got things going on that I just like working with my hands, and I just want to expand from that.
Right. Right. So what I think you've said something pretty important. Like you said, you started a program brand. You said people were supporting you in it. Like how important is it? Because I think, especially when it comes to finding your passion, like the people surrounding you, how important do you think that is when it comes to finding your passion? Because like you said, starting a clothing brand is not easy, especially here in the DMV. There's so many different clothing brands and like so many people trying to be like you're trying to stand on so many different ways. So like how important was the support and how important were the people around you in finding your passion and finding this brand you were able to create?
I feel like with anything anybody does in life, like having a good support system is always good for you and good for the people around you. It always just keeps you in perspective. Like you can get so much stuck within our own world, but having your support system kind of just like helps you internalize everything going on while also being able to feel the love and cherish. But I also feel like I said, it varies from person to person. Like I definitely know some people that don't have a support system that I had growing up who are able to like come from something. So just like having that support system is good in itself, but being able to just like sometimes not be afraid to go against your support system. Feel me? Like if you feel like you're putting something out that you truly put your like heart and soul into it, but like you don't have the same positive reaction, or your peoples don't have the same positive reaction, like just fighting that internal like saying in your head like, hey, maybe you should change it up a little bit, tweak it up. Just fighting that demon and be like, no, this is me, this is what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And you're still gonna drop that. And at the end of the day, like just being able to like balance how much you like lean on your support system is like very important, that I definitely learned as I started this like business stuff. But it's also very important to just like keep them close and make sure that they understand that they're cherished with you, because like many people like forget to like actually thank their support system, you feel me? Like saying thank you, just doing little things to your friends, making sure that they understand that you understand that they support you, just making sure that people are recognized for their support is like very important to me, because I feel like there's a lot of like in college and just like the DMV, just like some